Welcome back to part 2 of my 12-part series on the first 90 days of the Trump administration. Now, today's video is dedicated to the cabinet. What is the cabinet? Well, the cabinet is an advisory board for the president made up of secretaries representing 15 different departments of our government. So these secretaries are decided by vote, nominated by the president. And so these members of this board of the cabinet will go through a hearing process and then be either denied or confirmed by vote inside the U.S. Senate. Now, these people pretty much make up close friends of the president, people that he trusts, people that he will listen to especially. And how it would work is, week to week, the president will get meetings with these individuals, and they will brief him on what's going on in day-to-day things, what's going on at the border, what's going on internationally, intelligence, anything like that. They will brief him on to inform him so he can make the correct decision. That is how it is defined in the whitehouse.gov website on what their job is. Now, everyone who had been nominated by the president has been confirmed at this point. And so in this video, I just want to go through a few key positions, a few key nominations that either are a little bit of a shock or have been created a very critical viewpoint by the public. And I'll just go through that and kind of shed light on what the truth is. That is the purpose of this series. I want to highlight the truth in the lies. And so I'm just going to strictly tell you who these people are and why it's important to know who these people are, because they will be deciding a whole lot of things and be in the ear of President Trump going forward. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. President Trump's pick to be the Director of National Intelligence is Tulsi Gabbard. Gabbard is a lieutenant colonel in the military and has been in uniform serving since 2003. She has served 3 deployments as a combat veteran to the Middle East and Africa as part of special operations missions to counter terrorism. She's the first woman to receive an award of appreciation from the Kuwaiti military during her 2005 deployment to Iraq, where she led military police in Kuwait. As far as politics go, Gabbard has served in the state legislature at the age of 21, and then 8 years later in the Honolulu City Council. At the age of 31, she served the United States Congress for 4 terms and has truly experienced firsthand the true cost of war as not only a military member but also a Congress member, where she served in the Armed Services, Homeland Security, and Foreign Affairs committees. The White House believes Tulsi Gabbard is a great pick for this position because of her approach to every issue, domestic and foreign, with a focus on ensuring the safety, security, and freedom of the American people. She is honored to be President Trump's nominee for Director of National Intelligence and is committed to securing the nation and upholding the Constitution and serving the American people. Donald Trump's pick to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services is Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. Robert F. Kennedy's career of public service began in 1985, where he was an attorney for the environmental nonprofit Riverkeeper. He eventually became one of the most influential environmentalists in the United States, receiving Time Magazine's Hero of the Planet Award, and as well as the Sartisky Peace Award. Bobby Kennedy Jr., as he is also known, comes from an illustrious political family. He is the son of Robert F. Kennedy and the nephew of President John F. Kennedy. Kennedy was a lifelong Democrat before the party went away from what he saw as traditional values. In 2023, he announced his candidacy as an independent for the President of the United States. Prior to this position, he had spent nearly 40 years fighting corrupt corporations and government agencies during his tenure at Riverkeeper, a nonprofit he had started. He successfully sued dozens of municipalities to force compliance with the Clean Water Act. He won cases against giant corporations, including a lawsuit against General Electric for toxic runoff from its corporate jet hangar. In a court order against ExxonMobil, he mandated they clean up tens of millions of gallons of spilled oil in Brooklyn, New York. Building on the success of his nonprofit Riverkeeper, Bobby co-founded the Waterkeeper Alliance and served as president for 21 years. Under his direction, it became the world's largest nonprofit devoted to clean water and now protects 2.7 million miles of waterways with over 1 million volunteers in the United States and 46 other countries. By far the most controversial pick by Donald Trump for his nominees for secretary positions is Pete Hegseth, who is nominated for Secretary of Defense. Hegseth is an Army combat veteran and an advocate for American veterans. Hegseth most recently served as the co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend on the Fox News Channel. Hegseth is also a commissioned infantry officer in the U.S. Army National Guard and attended Princeton University in 2003, where he was a part of the ROTC program. He has been deployed to Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, Baghdad, and even Afghanistan with NATO. He has also served in multiple staff positions in state National Guards units. Hegseth has collected multiple awards throughout his military career and has authored 5 books, including The War on Warriors, which came out in June 2024, which spent over 10 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Now that was a whole lot of information. There's a whole lot of people serving in the cabinet and in government in general. And I hope with this description of these people, it gives you a good idea of who these people are and why they're in those positions and if they're even qualified. That's the big thing. You should be qualified for a job. And I think the whitehouse.gov does give a good description of these people. It kind of highlights the good things they've done, which obviously is not the most important thing. But these individuals that are now serving in government either were previously in a different capacity or are new to this position, like RFK, like Hegseth. These people who have been in the light or are famous in some degree, but have not exactly served in the field they are serving in that capacity. And so I think it's important to highlight those things. And in my next video, I'll be tackling the topic of tariffs. So I look forward to hearing y'all's comments on that. And I will be seeing y'all in the next video. And I hope everyone has a great day.